Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a Muichiro Tokito by me. So let's get into it. Throughout your life you felt like there was something that was plaguing you. Something that was hurting you, even at a very young age. Sometimes it would be barely painful, and sometimes it would be severe. And it took a long time for your parents to get to understand that this is what your soulmate bond is. Of course, you had many questions about it, and why your soulmate was hurting so much. One of the theories that you didn't like was that he could be much older than you, because the amount of pain that he was having, it was a little bit too intense for any young person to bear. You hoped that wasn't the case. You didn't want that. You didn't want much of an age difference between the two of you. But he also hoped that he was not hurting that much. That maybe there was something wrong with your bond. Maybe there was something wrong with you. But he hoped he wasn't in so much pain. And so as the time passed and the pain lessened, he hoped that your soulmate was feeling better now. That he was getting stronger. And that no one, whoever it was that was hurting him, could ever hurt him again. And then soon, you were growing up, and soon enough you were old enough to look for your own soulmate, hoping that you'd find him. It was said that when you were close enough, a red string would appear, and you'd be able to follow it to locate your own soulmate. You wondered if he was looking for you as well, if he wanted you around, if he loved you, if he wanted to meet you. Did he try to find you as well? Was he even trying yet? Or did he not care at all? What was his life like? Many questions, many of them, and none of them ever stopped plaguing your head. But you knew soon enough you were going to meet him. And so, as the red line had already appeared, all you had to do was follow it, and follow it you did. It was very far away. You could not see the end of it. And it turns out that nobody could see it as well. You were a little bit surprised by that, because it seemed like you could touch it too. But that was only to you. It could not interact with anything else, except your own body. And that's why you kept on following it, and hoping that the day will come when you meet your lover, your soulmate, and finally know his name, and know the color of his eyes, the way his hand feels in yours. And as the time passed, each step getting you closer and closer to your lover that you now awaited, you finally saw him. It has been so long since you've seen a sign of him, but here he was. He was wearing a formal attire, and he seemed to have a sword with him. Why is that? He'd never really understood it. But you kept watching, following him, thinking that he was not seeing you. But after an hour passed of you just following him around and trying to muster up the courage to approach him, he turned towards you and stared at you. You know, you're not very sneaky, so you can come out here, he said softly, and you blushed, looking towards him. I wasn't trying to be sneaky, you know, I did see the red line, and I noticed you've been coming closer. So tell me, what's your name? You said you did, feeling a little bit anxious. Here he was, your soulmate, the person you've anticipated for years. And he was so beautiful, so gorgeous, and he was everything you ever dreamed of. And yet he was scary too, and you could only hope that he would indulge you, and be into this thing as you were. And so, when he told you he wanted to meet you after your own introduction, you were quite surprised by it, but very happy. He was giving you a chance. He didn't seem to be so interested in this thing. But so it started. The two of you meeting up daily. Because he said that he wanted to try. You are a soulmate, and he owed it to you. You didn't really understand why he said that. He didn't owe you anything in your own opinion. But when you asked him, he said, you got hurt. All those times I was in pain. You were hurting too. Because of me. So the least I could do was just give you some of my time. I can't assure you that this will work out. I don't know if I'm feeling like I want to be in a relationship yet. But I'll do my best. And I hope that will be enough. And your heart melted. Because as cold as he seemed and scary as he may be, deep down, he was very gentle and caring. And he wanted to just make you happy, to be there for you. And as you started hanging out with each other more, he slowly grew closer and closer to you until that one fateful day. So, one day, he has an arm around you, the two of you watching the sky, the stars twinkling in the middle of the night. Moyan. What is it? I want to do something. Of course you can, Muichiro, whatever it is. You say, not really realizing what you wanted. And you only realize it a little bit too late, when he cups your face in his hands and leans in for a bold kiss. The two of you are blushing, but you way more than him. And soon, your hands go into his hair, pulling him ever closer. And the red line that was standing between the two of you is suddenly gone. The two of your hearts bonded, your love prevailing in the end of all these challenges. You never knew you'd meet him. You never knew if the two of you were really bound to fall in love. But in the end, here you were, right here with him.